Keith Law, he's not a guy to sugarcoat his opinions, and I think that means he's kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, rubbed a lot of fan bases the wrong way over all these years of being an analyst. But he's a really smart guy, and he did spend time inside of a front office. He's got great connections. I really find his opinions valuable because oftentimes he's kind of on an island on guys. So it's very interesting always to see his stuff. Aaron Gleeman of The Athletic interviewed Keith Law, also of The Athletic, to do a story on his Twins top 20 list. And here are some of the things that I took out of that as most valuable. If you are a subscriber to The Athletic, I encourage you to go check that out. So on Austin Martin, his number one prospect in the system, Aaron's number one prospect in the system, he comes out and right away and says, the power concerns are overblown. They are due to an injury. They are due to a swing change. Which if you are a glass half full fan of Austin Martin, that's basically what I would expect you to say. And I would say if the power comes along, he is the top prospect in the system. But I'm one of those people that is concerned about that. Seeing Keith kind of throw this out there is definitely sort of lowers my concern some. But I thought another point was I thought it was very interesting. The credit that he gives Martin, he doesn't give to another guy in the system. So he basically says that, he absolutely believes the Twins are already addressing Austin Martin's swing to get it back to producing more power. So that's great. That's great to hear. But I just thought it was very funny that when it came time in this piece to start talking about Royce Lewis, Keith didn't. He had much more of a glass half empty view of, his swing mechanics are terrible. He's not, saying all the things that he can't do, and I just find that interesting. And I agree with him on Lewis's swing mechanics. The last we saw him were a disaster. My line of thinking was always that he was going to learn that himself the hard way. Unfortunately, through injuries in the last season, he's missed a lot of playing time, a lot of those opportunities to sort of be shown by advanced pitchers that swing ain't going to work. So we'll see how he comes out swinging if those mechanics are any different. But I just found it interesting that, he's so confident that Austin Martin's going to be able to tweak his swing to add more power. But all these problems with Royce Lewis are basically just there's no hope almost. It's almost the tone that he took. Of course, there's always hope. But he did drop Royce out of his top 100, so he's not a fan. But even with that sort of negative opinion of Royce Lewis, that wasn't the most concerning thing that I got out of this article. The most concerning thing, and I think this would be a death sentence for this front office, is that Keith Law isn't really all that taken with this starting pitching prospect group. It's a very deep group of starting pitchers. It's not the top of the Twins system right now. Of course, that's, Austin Martin and Royce Lewis is up there. Jose Miranda also up there. But Keith says most teams have their own versions of a Jordan Balazovic or Josh Winder or, Simeon Woods Richardson et al. And that, the Twins are not above the median, at least. Their pitching pipeline, their pitching prospects are not above the median. That, if that rings true, if that's the way things go, they can't. They just can't right now. The way things have gone, we're far enough into this tenure of this front office. They haven't been developing pitching. They're averse to committing dollars on the free agent market to starting pitching. In my opinion, this has to work. This is the last thing that I'm sort of holding out hope for. I've lost most of my hope in this front office. They can kind of win me back if they prove that this group of starting pitching prospects is going to bear fruit. And if things turn out like Law's saying, that they're not above the median, that the Twins aren't going to gain ground in the big picture on any other teams with this prospect crop, again, that's a death sentence to me, to this front office. So, that's not an opinion I can really offer a whole lot of additional context with, because I don't pay attention as closely to the other 29 teams in the league. So I can't really say, no, that's not right. The Twins prospects are better than, X amount of teams. Keith does. Keith, through his 100 top prospect list, he did top 20s for every team in the league. He's very, very keyed in on everything. So that is a very damning thing to read. And here's hoping he's wrong. Again, I like Keith. I think he's a really smart guy. I find his prospect stuff very valuable. But he's wrong. He's wrong. Nobody has a crystal ball. Sometimes he's wrong. So I encourage you to go check out that article. Thank you for checking this out. And if you want to see some highlights of the Twins prospects, check out this playlist that I've got linked up in this card here. Thank you.